Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy.
Success is in your hands, and Southwest University is the place to accomplish it. Enroll by June 24 to start your dream career in the nursing, imaging, allied health, or business field. Transfer credits are accepted, helping you obtain your degree faster. The time to start your career is now. Call today at 915-778-4001 and enroll at Southwest University. Last day to enroll is June 24th. For more information, visit us at southwestuniversity.edu. Southwest University makes you happen.
All right, fresh off his work last night on ESPN with the NBA draft, and his work all day today in the draft aftermath. It's always a pleasure to welcome to the show NBA front office insider Bobby Marks, who joins us on the 72 Sold Sports Line. I know you're busy, got a lot going on, Bobby. You know we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good. We're good. Gamble, go ahead.
First of all, congratulations on your new contract extension.
Yes.
I just want to start with that. You do a great job. We love having you on. So
appreciate it.
happy for you. That's great
Thank
news. Let's start with what we're all talking about here in Phoenix. Do you feel that what Detroit did yesterday takes them out of potentially trying to lure Deandre Ayton to the Pistons?
I think it should. I think if you look at the draft and you just pick a player in the lottery like Jalen Duren, who's making $5 million, does that, do you feel like you can maybe spend money elsewhere? I think there's a priority with Detroit to take what's, $40 million in cap space and surround Cade with some more shooters here. So it will be interesting. I think if you had asked me that leading up to the draft after the Jeremy Grant trade, I would have said, yeah, you circled Detroit here. But now you go, you make a trade, you go center. What's the impact of Deandre Ayton? And I think there will be an impact here, and it'll be interesting if it's not, certainly if it's not Detroit. Is there a team there? Maybe. We'll see what happens in San Antonio. Maybe we'll see what happens in Indiana. Some of these
San
teams that have
Antonio, I
cap space,
told y'all.
Is there a team that or is now is going to be interested in him?
Yeah, and that's the kind of the follow-up, and you started to go down that road, would be, to what extent does this shrink the marketplace for Deandre Ayton? And I know it's been a while since we've had you on, but it hasn't been, over the course of the last, it's probably been a month or two. How do you think the marketplace for Deandre has developed as we're now a week away from him being free agent and hitting free agency?
I mean, what I would say is that, if I was Phoenix, and certainly if you're lukewarm on the contract, I would just tell his agent to go out, go get me a sign and trade. Go. I mean, go put a package together. It doesn't have to be teams that, under cap, teams over the cap, and let's see what the market is for him. As far as put together, because I think certainly for Phoenix, and you guys know they're not going to just let the guy walk, and I don't think they're going to let him just sign an offer sheet here. So I think you have to. I think he's got to work. There's got to be a workable solution to this from both sides, where Ayton can get his money and Phoenix can get players back here, because losing him for nothing, that doesn't help the situation. So. I think that's probably going to be the conversation in the next week here, because if it's not Detroit, then who is it out there that has that that $31 million slot? Is it maybe we've heard maybe San Antonio? I don't know if that's the case. And I think before you get that, I said just maybe there's a trade to be worked out here.
Okay, but maybe the rest of the league doesn't value him as a max player either. Is there a possibility the Suns don't view him as a max player? Would they pay him $20, $22, $24 million a year? Probably, but they don't want to tie up that third max contract. I mean, is it possible that there's just nothing out there for him with an offer sheet or a sign and trade, and the Phoenix Suns just are able to sign him to a 3 or 4 year extension at a rate that they view fair?
It's a great point, because we're doing the draft last night, and I'm thinking a center gets picked at 11, and I'm thinking are we starting to see a little bit of a trend in the NBA? It's almost like the NFL draft with running backs, right? Like if you're going to draft, hey, I get it, yeah, Jokic and Embiid and guys like that, sure, you're going to pay top dollar here, but if you're going to pay, $31 million, if you don't think this guy is an all-star or a franchise-level player, is it best used to use your resources somewhere else with that money? And it's similar like, we saw a lot of centers going in the second round last year because they're not as valued as much as wings or guards in here. So I think that certainly could be the case here as far as, the landscape of the league has certainly shifted a little bit where, the paying top dollar for center is probably not there. But as you guys know, all it takes is one out there. But I don't know if that team's going to be Detroit now based off what they did yesterday.
Bobby, we talk about the qualifying offer. There's always that option that he just accepts the qualifying offer and then he's an unrestricted free agent next year, able to go wherever he wants. But nobody does that, right? Nobody, because you're just leaving so much money on the table. Nobody actually plays for the qualifying offer.
What happens is you're playing catch up forever, right? Like you leave, you sign a $16 million deal, let's say, and that number. You're basically playing catch up for a long time here. I mean, the track record, basically the only guy it's worked out for was Greg Monroe, who did it in Detroit, and then he signed, I think, like a 4-year, maybe $60 million contract with Milwaukee the following year. You go through all the guys. I mean, it doesn't end well. I mean, it really doesn't.
Yeah, right.
So that's the last resort because, and then what happens is that you sign a QO. Let's say he gets traded, well, his bird rights doesn't carry. So basically that acquiring team is working, basically you have to have cap space to re-sign him to a new contract.
Bobby Marks from ESPN, our guest here on the Burns and Gambo Show. One last question about Ayton, and then we'll move on to a different topic. But from your perspective, as a former front office executive and your long standing with the NBA, the threat of matching an offer sheet to a restricted free agent, how often in your mind does that scare a team away from making an offer to a restricted free agent?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, certainly the offer sheet, you put the bells and whistles, right? Trade kickers, advance payment, and stuff like that. I think, we've seen it. Brooklyn went through a period with Alan Crabb and Otto Porter, where they were basically just giving offer sheets, and mostly everything gets matched because what happens is that you match it, and then you have an asset that you can move down the road, right? I don't think that, the trade kickers, that doesn't mean anything because you can't exceed the max out or anything. The advance is the advance. I mean, the only thing is it's a shorter contract maybe. Maybe it's a 3-year deal with a player option year, but I think that's fine. I think because his contract, I wouldn't see it as a deadweight contract if they matched it, and then if they had to eventually move it, I don't think they would be stuck with it.
Okay. Changing topics, because we've been talking about this the last segment before we brought you on. In fact, I was even going to play a soundbite from you, but I thought I would just ask you in person rather than play a soundbite of you talking about Kevin Durant. What do you the hypotheticals? I mean, seriously.
Okay, that's enough of that. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Now, the timing of JaVale McGee's 6th annual Water for Life charity softball game on Wednesday opened the opportunity for us to hear from him and his Phoenix Suns teammates a few weeks after the season had ended. The number one topic, of course, a day before the NBA draft happened and 2 weeks before free agency, is restricted free agent Deandre Ayton and the uncertainty surrounding his future in Phoenix. Ayton, who is not one of the handful of Sun players at the event, clearly has the support of his teammates, but they all know it's out of their hands. Things are going to play out over time, Suns forward Cam Johnson said of the process. Obviously, that's our guy, and we love having him around, but the future will play out how it plays out. I wish I had more of a say in what happens. We all wish we could just puppet master everything sometimes. We'll see in a couple of weeks, couple days what happens. Point guard Chris Paul was asked what advice he would offer, as well as his own general thoughts on the situation. Control what you can control, he said. It's summertime. It's a good problem to have. If it is a problem for me, during all those stressful situations and whatnot, Going to try to spend as much time with my family as possible. Paul was also asked about how great it feels to see his teammates get rewarded with a new contract after all the work that is put in. It's great for any of them, Paul said. All of our teammates, we try to celebrate everything, but it's a business. What's good for you may not be good for the next person or whatnot. Ayton is close with the Suns forward Mikal Bridges, his fellow 2018 NBA draft selection that called Ayton his best friend. Bridges and Johnson had referred to each other as twin, and this year that group became the triplets with Ayton. Bridges said Ayton's future in basketball in general hasn't come up much when they've been around each other since the end of the season. When we talk and hang out, it's just about life and just chilling, geeking around. Bridges said, we don't really talk about none of that stuff. We just kind of talk about life and have fun. As Johnson said, we'll just see how things shake out. Obviously, I got no control, Bridges said. Just watch and see what happens and hoping he stays. So basically, I let you guys listen to a news report. And yeah, that's how I was feeling when the Pistons got that center. You know, I think they might be out of the running for DeAndre Ayton. I believe the San Antonio Spurs, if I'm the San Antonio Spurs, I hop on it right now and get DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, his teammates miss him. Yeah, this and that. But listen, they value Chris Paul and they value Devin Booker. All this is allegedly, by the way. They value those guys more than DeAndre Ayton. They don't feel that he is a franchise player. Now, do I believe he's a franchise player? Yes, I believe he can be. I saw him in the games without Chris Paul or Devin Booker. He played out of his mind. He was averaging like 20-something, like 14 or 15 during that stretch. And I think consistently, if he can get with a guard like DeJounte Murray, I believe he'll be better. And I believe Pop will help him. So I'm pushing for the Spurs to come in and grab him. Hell, I hope my Magic might be like, yo, man, we might think about bringing him over here. But I know that's not going to happen. It's Orlando. You know, Orlando tragic, I call them. Damn bastards. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, man. His teammates value him, but it's not about his teammates. Management, Coach Williams, all of them feel like the guy's not a franchise player. Let's just be real. They feel like he's a guy that they can replace easily. So what do you think? Do you feel Ayton is easily replaceable? Do you feel he's just an okay player? And do you feel the Pistons have fell out of the running for Ayton? And do you feel the Spurs could jump in and grab him? Or tell me a team that you believe could get him. You know, give a team that might be a sleeper. So thank you guys, man, for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can donate to the page by going to my description box, hitting that link to my Cash App. You could donate whatever your heart's desire. Also, when we have a live video or a premiere video, you guys can super chat, man. Y'all could give $1, $5. You know, hey, give whatever you could give. Also, when the video's done, you guys can also leave a super thanks, which is like a super chat, but it's not a live going on. So thank you guys, man, for your love and blessings. Thank y'all for supporting the page. We are out. Deezy.